All right, guys, it's time for happy hour. Hopefully you can hear this awesome music in the background. You can also not see my face. There is a big reveal behind the curtain today. If you got yesterday's heads up, you know we are dressing up for today's happy hour, and I want to show off what I'm wearing, but after folks have a chance to get in here, there's going to be a bit of a reveal. I'm going to have Alexa, volume 6. You know, want to be able to hear me while still jamming out. Hopefully you guys are coming in. Y'all know the drill. Let us know where you're located, what's in your glass, and 3 stars. If it's your first time, we want to shout you out. Hi, William from Lake Jackson. Good to see you again. Guys, it is Tuesday, April 28th. In case you forgot, it's Tuesday, but Tuesday's over, and it's time to celebrate happy hour. So cheers to all of you out there. I am purposefully behind a curtain. I'll see you very shortly. William's drinking what I'm drinking. Hi, Tiffany. Good to see you again. What's up, Crystal? For those of you who are also dressed up today, there's going to be a chance for you to pop on screen and say hi to all the folks out here in the William Chris Happy Hour world. So hopefully you dressed up too. I'll give instructions on that a little bit later. We're giving folks a chance to get in the room. Eric, what is up from Allen, Texas? Drinking some High Estate tonight. Sydney, you forgot to dress up. Oh, man. You're going to have to get on that one. You still have some time. It's happening towards the end of the episode. Dirk in Austin, what's up, buddy? You made it in from the hill country, drinking G&T. I love it. You can hear the slurp. I love that, Ann. You know I'm here. JR, what's up? Drinking Languedoc Rosé. I love it. Kelsey drinking some H2O. Hey, as long as you're here joining us, you can have anything in your glass. It's time for happy hour. Time to jam out a little bit. It's that pretty sweet guitar solo. You can't see me, but I'm like playing the air guitar really awesomely right now. All right, guys. I think it is about time for the grand reveal. So without further ado, I am back. And without a hat, without a t-shirt, I showered, I shaved, I put on not just a jacket, but also a tie. Guys, it's good news because I want to dress up for something. And I'm so happy I got to. I actually really enjoy getting dressed up. So happy hour. Cheers to you guys. This is like the perfect timing for me to be dancing on screen. I'll bring up some of our special guests while you're still dropping in the comments. If you're a first timer, let us know because we want to shout you out. Alexa, off. I love having a personal assistant on my show that she can, deal with the music for me. So appreciate you. First up, I'd like to bring on some William Chris fans joining us today. Pam and Greg, say hi. Let us know where you are and what you're drinking.
Family.
Hello, everybody.
Where are you guys and what are y'all drinking?
We're in Lake City and we're drinking 2018 Pet Nat.
I love it. That is so good. And you guys are looking especially sharp. I need you get some time in the camera individually. Show off what you're wearing today.
Oh, I'm just wearing a little, I wore this dress for your colors for Aggies.
Yep. Yeah. This is game day ready right here, or game day. This is my Aggie specially made coat that I wear to Aggie events. So yes, I wore it just for you, D.
Dig 'em. Guys, I'm so happy. I cannot wait. Hopefully this is all done and through so we can have another awesome Aggie football season and I can get to a home game again. Oof. I'm ready for some Kyle Field and some cold beer and some hot sun and some good football.
Absolutely.
Whoop, indeed. Well, guys, thank you for joining us today. Thanks for joining Happy Hour regularly. Guys, how long have y'all been William Chris fans? How long y'all been joining us and drinking our wine?
Well, we looked at it, and it's sadly it's only been a few years. It's like what
January of 18.
January of 18, but it seems like forever. I don't know. It seems like that's all I've been drinking my whole life. I don't know.
I love that. Well, it's like some of those friendships that you have. It feels like you've been friends for forever, even though it's only been a couple of years. So it's just another one of those scenarios.
Yes,
absolutely.
We're going to say hi again back towards the end of the Wine Nerd section, but thank you guys for joining us again, and thanks for dressing up. You guys look sharp.
Yes, thank you for
Cheers.
inviting us.
Happy hour, guys.
Cheers.
Thanks. Cheers.
All right, next up, guys, while y'all are dropping in, I want to make sure that Paige hops on screen here. Paige is our special guest today.
Hello.
Paige, how are you?
Great. How are you?
Good. Talk to me. Where are you and what are you drinking?
I'm in South Austin in my dining room, and I am drinking some champagne today. Wrong direction. Drinking Camille Sauvesse. This is their Carte Blanche cuvee, their house wine, 75% Pinot Noir and 25% Chardonnay.
I love it. And I love that you're drinking bubbles because we're going to be able to talk a little bit more about some good champagne bubbles today. You're looking especially nice. You got to show us what you're wearing today. Is it like a black lace top?
Yeah, with a little dress underneath,
I love it. You did your hair, got earrings. Man, I love getting dressed up. Are you getting dressed up fan, or is it like a special occasion only? Like, does it make you feel good?
I love getting dressed up, yeah.
Okay. Well,
my husband and I dressed up for dinner last week just randomly, so
Well, I saw you in the comments yesterday. You joined us yesterday, and I saw how excited you were to like jump in like immediately, and like I'm totally getting dressed up. So I appreciate the spirit. I think it's a lot of fun. We don't have other things to get dressed up for, so why not happy hour? Okay, Paige, I am going to jump into my wine, but we're going to bring you back in just a little bit for the Wine Nerd section, talking about some champers. So I'll see you in just a little bit. Cheers. Happy hour.
Cheers.
All right, guys. Some great, good-looking folks getting dressed up today. Hopefully some of you were dressed up today. You're going to have a chance to pop in, show off your good looks today, whatever you fancied up for, or maybe you just had fun with it. Like I talked about yesterday, there was a person who dressed up in their swimsuit, flippers, and scuba gear to take out the trash. Whatever it is that brings you a little bit of joy. Want to say hi to a few more folks. JR is in there, Melanie, Ken, Tina. Good to see all these familiar names. Sorry, it seems like a few of you weren't able to see some folks, but we hopefully got that technical glitch fixed for you. Let's talk about what I'm drinking. It is the What is D Drinking segment of today's episode. So as you were told yesterday, I am drinking Aglianico. Guys, a lot of people want to call this Aglianico. That G is a soft G when you pronounce it. So it's more like a Y. Think Aglianico from Mandola Vineyard in the Texas Hill Country. And let me flip it a little bit, rotate it. So there you can see it's 2016. So this has got almost 4 years of age on it. Still fairly young, starting to come into its prime. Definitely getting a little bit of blackberry, a little cassis. Definitely a little bit of spice on this wine. Oh, yeah. This is delicious, guys. Black cherry today. Does have a little bit of tartness to it. Blackberry, cassis, maybe a little bit of like cardamom. This wine is killer. Guys, Aglianico can sometimes be pretty tannic. This one's about medium tannin. It's got a little bit of age, so it's starting to soften, I think. Not quite as much earthiness or animal that can sometimes come with age. This is still pretty fruit driven. Lower alcohol. I think this is just above 13%. Oh yeah, just a nice little grip there at the end. True to its grape. The Mandola Vineyard grows beautiful Italian varieties. We've been lucky enough to work with Vermentino from there. It's really nice to have this wine. I haven't had this in like, 6, 7, 8 months. There's not a ton of this around. For those of you who are lucky enough who are wine club members, have access to our library page that we opened up recently. If you can grab some of this 16 Aglianico, you're going to want to. I don't know how much is left, but I know that this is a library wine. So super special. I get to drink it. I've been really excited to have some library selections for happy hour. As you guys know, we opened that library section of our website for our wine club members. And if you're not a wine club member, you can become one because we still have some spots open. So cheers, guys. It is the end of Tuesday. Want to say what's up to Elise and Luke and Deborah. Man, Yeah, Joel's asking about tertiary flavors here. That's a good. So, guys, for those of you who don't know, tertiary flavors or aromas are those that usually come with age. So, primary is fruit driven, secondary is from the winemaking, and tertiary is from time or age. And tertiary notes here, not a ton. It's starting to kind of turn towards maybe a little bit of like soil earthiness, but this is still primary and secondary driven. I'd say mostly fruit, so mostly primary. It's going to need maybe 2-3 more years before it really starts showing some tertiary flavors. Love the question, though. All right, guys. What's up, Mary? Good to see you and Mark in the chat. I want to bring back the one, the only Paige. So let me bring her back up, give her a proper introduction. Paige, it is time for our Wine Nerd section today. I couldn't be more happy to have you here to teach us.
Awesome.
I have been lucky enough to sit across the bar and learn from Paige at June's restaurant in Austin. We have also enjoyed quite a few libations and some really stinking good food at Texom together. More just as colleagues and hanging out. Man, I still dream about that dinner.
Oh, me too, all the time.
That milfouille that we had, holy mother! I'm not sure I've ever had milfouille like that ever before or since. Anyway, guys, sorry guys, a little like daydreaming about an amazing meal that we got to share together. Paige is a friend. She has extensive knowledge about wine, and today she's going to be talking to us about champers. So I feel like everybody and their mom always talks about champagne, but I'm really excited for kind of the unique approach that Paige is taking today. I'm not going to steal her thunder. But first, Paige, if you can start us off, I'm going to put a little thing in the comments about you so folks can ask questions. For our viewers, if you have questions for Paige while she's talking about her wine journey or about champagne, feel free to chime into the comments, and I'd love to feature you and a question. So I'm going to put this in the comments and up on the screen. And then I'm going to ask Paige if she will start with, where are you from? And how'd you get started on your wine journey? And then I need you to tell us how you ended up in Austin.
All right, so I'm from Vermont. I lived in upstate New York for a little while, but pretty much only Vermont. And I've worked in restaurants forever, doing all sorts of things. And I was managing a bar at a brew pub. We had 25 beers on draft. We had a really great cocktail program. We had a really good wine program. And I had a chef friend who actually got me into wine. He had a French restaurant and brought in tons of good wine. And we used to like go to his house at 2:00 in the morning and drink Van Jean and eat omelets. And it was pretty ridiculous.
I love that.
I got to drink some really good wine with him. I'm Austin because my husband got a great job down here a couple years ago. And I moved down. I guess I should back up a little. When I was in Vermont before moving to Austin, I worked at Daedalus Wine, which is a retail shop with a marketplace of like cheeses and specialty foods. And I worked in the wine bar there as a sommelier. So I helped open the wine bar and then worked there for about a year before moving down here.
I love it. And I know it's kind of selfish, but I'm selfishly glad that your husband got a job here because that means you're part of the community. So I love that. Okay, so I'm going to kind of turn it over to you. I know we chatted a little bit about how there's a lot to cover with champagne. Champagne is its own like black hole of wine nerdery. There's a gazillion steps in how to make it properly. There's tons of laws about it. But I want your fresh take on champagne. And for our viewers out there, if you have questions about champagne, we would love to answer them. Paige would. But talk to me about champagne and why we should be thinking about it maybe a little bit differently than we do.
Well, honestly, the way I see it is champagne is super complex and interesting, and there are tons of winemaking decisions that producers can make regarding champagne. So it's actually an incredibly versatile wine that I think should be more of an everyday thing because it does go with a lot of things. The champagne I'm drinking now is an awesome aperitif, so like a pre-dinner or like while you're cooking dinner wine, but also is great. Their website literally says great any time of day, which is awesome. And yeah, there's a lot of complexity. There's several grape varieties you can use to make it. You can make anything from a super dry, high acid, crisp wine to a richer, more lush, dark fruited wine. And it's just, there's a lot going on there.
Talk to me about this idea behind it being everyday and it being super versatile. I always just, when I was first getting into wine, or like a long time ago when I was first introduced to it, champagne was always just this like kind of harsh word. Well, first of all, it was a word I used for anything with bubbles. And then second of all, it was always kind of this like really harsh, acidic, like rip my mouth apart kind of wine that like I had to force down whenever we were cheersing for like a wedding or New Year's or whatever. So when you talk about versatile, that might be a new concept for a lot of people. Talk to me about what you mean by that, and maybe what are some of your favorite champagne food combos that we should be thinking about?
Totally. Well, first of all, it is super high acid, and honestly, champagne is what it is because of the acidity. Champagne as a place in France is extremely cold and really hard to ripen grapes there. And that's the reason they started adding sugar into it, which starts the secondary fermentation that makes the bubbles, kind of to make it palatable at all. And then there's a whole range that you can do of lees aging, which adds complexity and adds richness and texture. You can add different levels of sugar, or what they call dosage, which gives it either that really high acidity or can be richer and more lush. Some favorite pairings, salty food and champagne is awesome. French fries and champagne is one of my favorite things in the world. Potato chips and champagne. Also, if you're going to get one with like a higher level of sugar or dosage in it, such as a demi-sec champagne, is really good with spicy food, like Asian food, Indian food, a spicy fried chicken sandwich. So there's all sorts of things you can do with it. It's also a really good palate refresher because it is bubbly and has that acidity. It kind of like wipes your palate clean. So it's actually kind of a good, if you're like drinking several different drinks in a day, it's a good in between those drinks to wipe your palate clean a little bit.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I love that you've broken it down. Like, honestly, fried food just in general is like the win for me. Come on, guys, if you've got bubbles and acid, like the way that it cuts through the fat in the fried thing. So like you talked about potato chips. I love good like fries, mayo, and just like aioli, if you want to call it that. Yeah, I could do that all day. So I know we have still a ton to talk about. I've got some good questions in here that I just want to pop in. I feel like you could be able to answer pretty quickly. So first, I want to come to Pam and Greg. I asked them to see if they had a question about champagne. Let's see.
I'm sorry. There I am. Hello. Yes, I did. I was listening to you, and you answered a lot of the questions already. But one of them I had, a lot of people, they use the champagne for celebratory things. Okay, so I guess a good question maybe that everybody would like to know is two things. If you're on a budget, what would be your favorite champagne for a celebration? Or if you've got no budget whatsoever, what's the one bottle you would pull off the shelf for a celebration?
I love it. You're kind of talking about both ends of the spectrum there.
Right. So yeah.
Okay, I love that. I'm going to pull you guys up. Thank you for that awesome question, Paige. Talk to us about your everyday budget champagne purchase, and then maybe you really want to break the bank and go big.
That's a really good question. So there's a few different ways you can approach it. It kind of depends what your budget is. The bottle I'm drinking now, I picked up today for $40 retail, which is not horrible, especially considering it is true champagne. It's a grower champagne, which means it's a little bit more selective. And I think you can find a lot of value in grower champagne, depending. There's a lot of like entry level champagnes versus like a single vineyard or something like that, that you can get in the $35 to $50 range that are delicious. So I'm drinking Camille Savès. That's a great grower producer. There's also, not to make things more confusing, but you can get sparkling wines that are made in the same style, made in the traditional method, which will have similar complexity to them. in different places. So Cava, one of my favorites is Ravento C Blanc, which is actually not technically in Cava anymore because they're trying to make their own laws, but their style in Spain and the way they make their wines is much more similar to Champagne. Their wines are beautiful and they're really great value.
Yeah, and we're going to have Mandy Nelson on tomorrow. I think she's going to talk a little bit about Gramona. So
awesome.
yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that. This similar question, I think you just covered this. Should we be calling it Champagne if it's not from Champagne, France?
No, you should not. That's one of those like maybe kind of, no, you shouldn't.
Yep, that's okay. But we can call the method it's made in the Champagne method or the tradition. Yeah.
Method traditional, Champagne method, or you can, sparkling wine is generally the accepted term for anything with bubbles in it. Sparkling wine, no matter where it's from.
You want to get really, really French, and you can say méthode champenoise. Many things you can call it. You shouldn't technically be calling it Champagne if it's not made according to the laws of the region of Champagne, which means the grapes have to be grown there, and there are a ton of steps in the process and laws according. So, speaking of, I know this was something you wanted to teach today as one of the takeaways. What grapes normally go in Champagne? And if you don't know the names, because I don't think I can remember all however many it's supposed to be, and I'm not going to steal your thunder. If you can name them, great. But first of all, how many grapes can be used to make Champagne?
So you can make Champagne with 7 different grape varieties, which not a lot of people know, and I think is a lot of fun. There are very few wines that are made with all 7. There are very few wines made with like the lesser 4. But the top 3 are Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier, and Chardonnay. And Chardonnay is actually the only one of the 7 that's a white grape, which is also surprising because most people think of Champagne as being a white wine, but most of it is made with red grapes.
I love that. That for me is one of the first things I learned. I was like, oh my God, 2 of the 3 main grapes are red.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? I thought Champagne was white grapes. So do you happen to know the other 4?
I do. The other 4 are going to be Pinot Blanc, Pinot Gris, Petit Meslier, and Arbonne.
Let's see if I can spell these right. Petit Meslier. We're going to give it a shot in the comments, guys. Who knows the spelling? You should Google it. And what was the last one?
Arbonne.
Arbonne. Arbonne. All right, guys.
But yeah.
All the grapes that you can put into Champagne right there in the comments for you. A little bit of trivia. So if your friends ever ask you, what grapes is Champagne made with? It's not the Champagne grape because there's no such thing. It's mostly Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier, and Chardonnay. And then you have those other 4 that are kind of ancient varieties that are still grown there, but in very tiny amounts. And I love that. And I know there was one other thing, and I'm trying to check and see if there was another. Oh man, people are talking about Veuve Clicquot. How about let's take this. What's the difference between Prosecco and Champagne? Because that's a really good question.
They are made in different methods. It's a major one. So I'm actually honestly not super well versed in Prosecco. But Prosecco is made from a grape called Glera in Italy. And it is, I believe, the Charmat method, which means that it's CO2 is introduced under pressure in a tank. And that's how the bubbles are created.
Boom. You just aced your test. No, it's tank method or Charmat. As she said, she even used Louis Charmat's name. It's kind of funny. There's a French guy that helped the Italians make their sparkling this big worldwide phenomena, so it's tank method and the grape is Glera. So thank you, Mary, for the spelling on Petit Meslier there in the comments. Always coming through with my French help. So this is the key distinction here. Prosecco is made under pressure instead of in the bottle through secondary fermentation. Its secondary fermentation takes place in a tank. So it's also why the bubbles are a little more harsh. So you'll notice the smoothness in Champagne. They like to talk about the mousse, and it's kind of that really silky mouthfeel with the small bubbles. So that's honestly why people like me and Paige love drinking Champagne, or one of the many reasons. This is all great knowledge. I did want to leave. I think you talked about grower champagnes, folks who are a little bit smaller producers. They're not a big champagne house. How do I know if a bottle is a grower champagne versus like a negociant or a big champagne house?
Yeah, so basically there's a few different little codes you'll see on the back label generally of the bottle. The two major ones you want to look out for, it'll say NM and then a series of numbers, or RM and a series of numbers. And the numbers just designate the producer. But NM means negociant manipulant, which means that someone is buying their grapes or buying like a large percentage of their grapes. And then RM refers to récoltant manipulant, and that is someone who's growing their grapes and making the wine. So if you see RM, they're doing the work in the vineyard and they're producing the wine.
I love it. Guys, it is awesome to get to learn about all this stuff. A good refresher. We just threw that up on the screen for you. For those of you who are trying to remember, there's a secret little code on every single bottle of champagne. So you can go find it. It's required by law to be on the label. So if you want to check out and see what a grower champagne is like, look for the little RM. It doesn't mean that it's better and that NM is worse. It's not necessarily anything to do with quality. It just has to do with the size of the person making it. Usually the grower producers are smaller farmers who used to sell their grapes to big houses and now are able to produce their own champagne. And it's kind of a cool way to explore the different regions of Champagne, I think.
Totally.
Gosh, Paige, so much knowledge. I feel like we could go on for literally hours. I stinking love champagne. I had some Bucart Salmon Rosé on Sunday. I'm still thinking about rosé champagne is delicious, guys. You can also have
pairings. Is one of my favorite bars in Portland, Maine, does a pairing on their menu that's the Bucart Salmon Rosé champagne with their house popcorn, which is like a green chili Parmesan popcorn. It's so good.
Are you kidding me? Green chili popcorn. Oh my God. Yeah. I can't with this right now. Okay. Seriously, this has been so much fun. Thanks for being here today. We're going to transition into our good news of the day and celebrate some fancified, dressed up folk. But cheers to you. Thanks for teaching us about champagne today.
Thank you.
Before I forget, say just a little bit, stay-at-home Somm. JR Ayala was on here and introduced us to this idea. I know that you're participating in that. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing with Stay-at-Home Somm.
Yeah, so JR started this website, the Stay-at-Home Somm, and several of us are teaching classes about wine. And we've had a few so far. There's a bunch happening this week, and a lot of seats are almost sold out. So you should check out the website and get the last few spots. But next week, I'm planning on teaching a class on rosé and different styles of rosé, all about it. It'll be fun.
I love it. You guys check that out. Also, guys, Paige, if you get a sec when we go into this next segment, if you'll drop that website, I'm happy for folks to learn about that and navigate over there to support you guys. Great way to support our fellow industry mates who might not be working in a restaurant right now because most of them are still closed. So show support to them. We love them. JR, I think, beat you to it. Thank you, JR. She's already got the website in there. All right, Paige, you're going to come back up here in just a little bit too, just because you're fancied up and I want all of us to be on screen together. But we're going to transition now to the kind of, let's call it the good news segment now. But I want to know who dressed up today. So this is your chance to show off you dressing up. If you dressed up, there is a link in the comments you can click on and you can join us backstage. Now, I want to warn you, I can only get 10 people backstage at a time. So if it fills up and there's a lot of you backstage showing off, being dressed up today and fancied up, I want you to have a chance to be on screen, say hi to people, share it with what you're drinking, and say hi to the William Chris crowd. This is all based off a story yesterday, guys, that originated in Australia. There's a group of people that are dressing up to take out the trash because in these times we don't have too many things to dress up for. And they thought it was a really cool idea to dress up just to take out the trash and either post pictures or videos on Instagram and share it with everybody. There's a Facebook group now. But I wanted to jump in on that and give you guys the opportunity to dress up. Join me backstage and show off being dressed up to the world. Guys, it's happy hour. Why not dress up for happy hour? Like you can see that I did. I know it's kind of cut off by this test, but guys, I took a shower. I shaved. I got on a dress shirt, a blazer, a tie. I mean, come on. You already saw Pam and Greg got guzzied up. They look like they're ready for a fancy Aggie football outing. Paige in her black lace, looking beautiful. Guys, this is the time to show off, and it can be a fun one too. Maybe you had a little bit of a crazy dress up. It didn't have to be formal, so remember that. So while I'm sharing some good news, if you want to click on that link in the comments or copy and paste that link you'll end up backstage. You won't pop up right on screen, so I have to let you come on. So if you're waiting backstage while I'm sharing some more good news, I'll be with you shortly. So guys, hop on. We want to see you dressed up for happy hour. I know there's some of you out there. And even if you just want to say hi, even if you're just in a t-shirt and shorts, we'd still love to see your face. It's time to celebrate some good news of the day. So I'm going to share a screen real quickly. I have some stories that I came across that I wanted to highlight. So while you guys are jumping backstage, hopefully there's a few of you, I want to talk about 2 stories that I saw today. The first one is this. Are you kidding me, guys? So let's see if I hide this comment so you can see a better picture. There was a 6-month-old miracle baby who was having open heart surgery and got coronavirus and beat the virus. I mean, that's the kind of good news we all need in our world today. I love seeing the dad holding his kid. That just like, I'm not even like a big, toddler babies kind of guy, but like that story, are you kidding me? Open heart surgery and overcoming corona is a story we all need in our life. So first story of the day, I wanted to share with you. If you get a chance to read about that, check that out. Okay, one more story. You guys know how much I love dogs. So while other folks are hopping in backstage to show us their dressed up selves, I want to share with you this story about some pups. Guys, there are dogs being trained to sniff out and diagnose coronavirus. So if my dog desire and dog fever wasn't already bad enough, now it's just like tenfold. I want to train a dog to help sniff out and diagnose some COVID-19. So I needed a good dog story in my day, and this was it. I love seeing this. Why not? Guys, whatever we can do to put the doggos to work and an excuse to hang out with them. So 2 fun, good news stories for my day. So I'm going to pull those off. If you get a chance to go find those and read them, I do recommend them. We have a few folks who have joined us backstage who have themselves gotten guzzied up. First up, I would like to introduce somebody who's a member of the William Chris team and team and family, shall we say. And Jerry Lynn, I'm coming for you, so hopefully you're not picking your nose. There you are. Hi, friend. How are you?
Hi, Dee, I miss you.
I miss you too. Where are you and what are you drinking?
I am in the living room. I'm in my work suit today with my dress shirt, and Scott's in his birthday suit next to me, so I can't move the camera around. He was working all day outside, and he's hot. So
that might make it the spiciest happy hour we've had yet. I don't think anybody's saying no yet in the comments, so no.
No. And I'm drinking the 2018 Enchante. He brought it home today to try. So
I love that. Well,
yeah.
Cheers to you, friend, and thank you. I know you're in the healthcare world, so thanks for all that you're doing right now.
Oh, that was his glass to mine. Thank you.
His glass was clinking your glass. Okay. Got you.
Glass.
I love it. Jerry Lynn, it's good to see your face. I miss you guys so much. Look forward to cheersing you very, very soon in person. I'm going to bring you back up in a sec because we're going to celebrate everybody who's on here. Crystal, we're coming for you next. Crystal, I know you've been a long-time viewer and in the comments, and you were a special guest the other day. So good to see you again.
Hey, you too.
Yep. Where are you and what are you drinking? And I want you to show us, you got guzzied up.
Oh, no, I only put on the fancy glasses.
Hey, that counts, I feel like.
Yeah, so I'm just here in Lakeway drinking Canada Dry Ginger Ale. It's finals week for me, so.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, finals week, what kind of finals do we have on deck? Do we have anybody in the comments who might be able to help you study who are like professionals in these fields?
I don't know. I'm a history major going out to be a professor. So if someone can help me with witchcraft and heresy in the modern world or Atlantic World Revolutions. I'm game.
Those sound like some pretty specific history moments. I don't have anything to offer. I was a terrible history student. Sorry about it. Maybe we'll get some folks. Let's pull up everybody. I want to cheers to all these wonderful folks who decided to get dressed up and look great for happy hour. Guys, this has been a fun one. Let's spread more good news. Let's find good news. Let's share good news. Thanks everybody who joined us today. Thank you, Paige, for your amazing champagne segment. Guys, I want to cheers all of you, but you know you can't go before I do these three things. So let's cheers. Happy hour. Happy stuff. And let's close out with these three things. Paige, I'm coming back to you to cheers us out. So be thinking about what group of people you want to cheers to. But let's do these three things. Guys, I have really important announcements today. You do not want to log off right now. I'm telling you, especially this first one that's about to go up. We widely, officially, finally launched this awesome project with a master sommelier, Craig Collins. We've been talking about this for a little while if you have been tuning in and listening. So first, I want to talk to you about our Wanderer Series Relief Project. It is a Cinsault wine made in collaboration with master sommelier Craig Collins. And all the proceeds go to benefit the Texas restaurant industry through Southern Smoke. So the proceeds are going to Southern Smoke. We're super thankful. The folks who did the glass and the labels and the corks, they donated all the parts of the wine. And we're able to raise money specifically for our industry friends. They need it right now, and we're happy to be a part of this. So guys, go order that on the website. The link is right there in the comments. It is our 2019 Cinsault, and it's delicious, guys. Even if it wasn't to help people, which it is, and you should buy that on that alone, it's stinking delicious. This was a native yeast ferment that spent 6 months in concrete and is 12.2% alcohol. It is a boat wine. It is we want to drink this now on a slight chill. Go get it. Drink all of it. You want this wine. So that's also going to be in retailers soon, but you can buy it on our website right now. Second, we have a virtual tasting pack for Saturday. You're not going to want to miss this either. It has the Relief wine in the pack. So if you're thinking about buying one bottle of the Relief wine, might as well get the tasting pack for virtual tasting. I think we're on 7 now, which is on Saturday with Chris and Catherine. And if you add 2 bottles, you get free shipping. Cool. Make that happen. Tomorrow, we are going to be drinking Trebbiano, 2018 Trebbiano, and my friend Mandy Nelson is going to be joining us. We're going to be talking about secondary fermentation and sparkling wine. So very much in line with champagne today, but not exactly champagne. You want to tune in. I've had a great time. I'm going to bring Paige back on to cheers us out for the day. Paige, thank you so much for being here. Who are we cheersing to today?
I'm going to cheers to all my colleagues in bars and restaurants.
I dig it. We care about them. We love them. Thank you so much for being here. Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
See y'all tomorrow at 5, guys.